today we are going to work on a double V split, and this we're going to do it on this is a little cup. This is a 12-ounce straight from Crafthaven. So we're going to do it on this little cup, and I am using some really pretty mandala vinyl from Bright Swan vinyl. They're actually out of Canada, so it takes a little bit to get their stuff, but she has some really pretty vinyl and tons of choices. We're actually going to be using a chameleon pigment. It's called Smog, if I can get that to focus, and it is from Mr. Fancy Pants. And then I'm going to be using Tacky Pants Extra from Mr. Fancy Pants. Now, you can use any pigment you want. This is a chameleon pigment, so it shifts colors, and I don't know if you can see this or not, but it actually shifts colors when you put it on. So you can use any mica powder, any paint, any glitter, anything you want on the stainless part of your cup. And if you don't have the Tacky Pants Extra or Mr. Tacky Pants at all, you can actually use tack it over and over. So if you're using mica powder. So I'm just going to I'm going to cut this seam off of this vinyl real quick, and I just do this with scissors. So what I did was I tried to find a vinyl that matched, a mica or a pigment that matched the vinyl, and I think the color shift in this is going to match these colored ones really pretty, or really well, I mean. So with a double V split, depending on the size of cup that you're using, the very first thing you're going to start out doing is you're going to fold your vinyl diagonal just like this. So you just got that vinyl folded in a diagonal little shape there. And I'm just going to cut straight down the middle. The cut doesn't have to be completely perfect, because it can be trimmed, and it's also going to be covered up with striping tape. Okay, so on this, if you're doing a 20 or a 30-ounce cup, you're going to cut this, and we're going to do it on this cup too, because this cup's just tiny. You're going to fold it again. Let me get rid of this piece here. You're going to fold it again, just like that, and you're going to cut again, right down the middle. So, okay, so when you've cut it again like this, it will fit, and I'll show you on this cup I already have made, but cutting it like this will make it fit on a 20-ounce. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it'll even fit. I think this is a bigger cup. This is a 35-ounce, but it'll even fit on a 35-ounce cup. So halfway, when cutting it twice, diagonally twice, it's going to fit on a 20 or 30-ounce cup. For this little bitty cup, I don't know what stuck to the back of that. For this little bitty cup, we're going to do it again. So we are going to cut this again. And this will make it fit. And on these little cups, it almost fits. So I actually, this is the second time I've actually done this video. The first time I didn't hit the record button. But I actually did the last one like this, where it didn't touch on the back, and it was great. It looked fine. So that part to me doesn't matter. And normally you're probably not going to be doing these V-split cups on these little bitty cups. But sorry, my phone's ringing. I'm going to cut this little white edge off here of both of these pieces, because we're going to use both of them. So we'll cut those off. It's stuck to my finger. So now we have essentially enough to do enough vinyl to do another little cup and a large cup if we want to. So, or you can use this vinyl for, you know, another project, whatever you want to do. Then you just want to look at it and make sure what you want, you know, make sure which one you want on the top and which one you want on the bottom. So this one is, I think this one's actually going to be my top piece. Yeah, this one's going to be my top piece because it's got the really pretty colorful mandala right there in the middle. So from here, what we're going to do, let's see if I can get a little bit more light back here for you guys. What we're going to do is we are just going to, let me move that out of the way. You're just going to peel back this little corner, and I just cut a little piece off like that. I'm just going to do the hinge method on this. So you want to make sure, just pull your vinyl around and just make sure that it's even. That is not. And I pull it down just a little bit to show the rim of that cup because I am going to put a thin strip of vinyl right there. So, all right, that is even right there. So now I'm just going to, like I said, we're just using the hinge method. I'm just going to use my finger on this one and just run that, put that vinyl on that cup. And you're just going to go, just rub up and down just like this. And it kind of keeps any air bubbles from getting in your vinyl. And then there we go. There's our top piece. So now we're going to do the bottom piece. And we want these to kind of be, it went on crooked anyway. Dang it. Okay, hold on. We're going to fix this real quick. So this is how I fix this. Sometimes this is easy, sometimes it's not so easy to get vinyl on your cups. Y'all, if y'all have ever put vinyl on a tumbler at all, you know the struggle. So let's try this again. See if we can get this a little bit more even than it was. And it's, you know, with these sheets, sometimes it's almost impossible to do just because some vinyl is not cut straight. I mean, some of it is. Sometimes it's just not cut straight. So, I mean, it happens. We're just going to do the same thing again. And so I think that's as straight as we're going to get it. So it's just a little bit crooked. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. We can, if you see something like this, you can usually fix that with just you know, with your vinyl striping that you're going to put on. Now for the back, you just kind of want to get the back as even as you can. You want that point to be like in the middle, right there. And then that point to be in the middle. So right here, we're gonna just cut this. And I'm gonna stick that on because I know that that's where it's gonna go. And hopefully we measured it out correctly. And everything's all kosher. This is a lot harder to do on a bigger cup. So I thought, well, you know, I'll show you on a smaller cup because it's a little bit easier to show you on a smaller cup. And so it turned out pretty decent there. So that's what we've got. We've got our double V split on. So now we are going to work in just these bare areas. Now, like I said before, you can do glitter here. You can just paint this. You can, we're using some, you know, the chameleon mica powder we're going to put on here. I mean, there's a ton of things that you can do with this area right here. And another thing I have done with these V-splits, if you've got an alcohol ink cup that is just, let me see if I have one. I have this one. If you have an alcohol ink cup, just like this, that either you didn't like the way, like this one has little divots in it, it still needs another coat of epoxy. But if I have a vinyl that matches these colors, I can do a double V-split on this, and all you literally have to do is put on the vinyl, stripe it, and throw probably 1 or 2 coats of epoxy on it. So, I mean, it's not, you know, if you alcohol ink tumblers are good for this technique, especially if you have, like me, you have a few laying around that you just haven't sold or have just been laying around forever. Okay, so in order to get this pigment put on here, this is what we're going to use our Mr. Tacky Pants for. And I'm going to actually take a little bit of this and put it, I'm just going to put a little bit in a cup there. And I just need to leave the lid off of that because I'm not going to use all that. So you use this kind of just the same way that you use tack it over and over. You're going to put it on, and if you do the Mr. Fancy Pants Extra, it goes on, and I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but it goes on where you can actually see the glue. So you're just going to brush this on all over the stainless steel part, and you can tape off your vinyl, but with these, they're going to have striping along these little edges. So if a little bit gets on, you know, the vinyl right there at the edge, it's not going to hurt anything. So, because it'll be covered up. I don't get it all over the vinyl like I just did, but you're just going to go over this stainless steel part with your, either with your tack it over and over, or your Mr. Tacky Pants. One of these days I'll get my words out, guys. So right there, I know that I got a little bit on the vinyl right there. And on this cup, I'm actually going to do, I'm going to do the edges and the bottom in this colored pigment. So I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and get my bottom here real quick. And you're going to let this dry. It's going to dry tacky. And then we can get our pigment put on there. And on this one, I'm actually going to do the top too, so. And again, that's going to have a stripe around it, so it's okay if it it's okay if you get a little bit on the vinyl. It's not the end of the world. It's still going to work. And this stuff, guys, this dries really fast. I mean, not really fast, but it dries faster than tack it over and over. So I just kind of want to go back around those spots where I got way too much and just kind of smooth it out a little bit. Okay. Okay. So now, as soon as this is all clear, we will go in with our smog, again, from Mr. Fancy Pants. And this is a, let me see if you can see it. I don't know if I can get my camera to focus enough to see this, but I haven't opened this yet, so. And my little thingy just went in there, so. So I don't know if I can get, if it'll focus enough to see that, but it's a really pretty purple bronze type shifty looking pigment. So you're just gonna, this is, I just used the same brush that I put on my glue with, and you're just basically gonna paint this pigment on. So it's really easy to do. It's not hard to do. Anything that doesn't have glue attached to it is going to come off, so I'm just trying to grab this cup where you can, where there's no glue. So you're just gonna paint, like I said, just kind of paint this on a little bit. And this is gonna be really pretty with this cup. So you guys get the gist of this. I will speed through this real quick so you, because this takes a minute to do this, so I'll speed through this real quick so you can, so we can move on to the next part. All right, guys, and here's our cup once the pigment has been applied. So I think it's going to be really, really pretty. So once this dries, once this glue completely dries, we're going to go in with a coat of epoxy and get that on there. And you can actually just dust off any extra flakes that you have. I mean, this is, I literally just got done doing this. So it leaves, you know, mica powder on your hand, but, and I don't know if you guys saw or not, but against this edge right here, instead of using my brush like this, I just took it and kind of colored like this up against the edge, just to get that up there. So this is pretty easy to do. I mean, it's a little time consuming, but, and if you notice my mat down here, my little silicone mat, it makes a mess. So yeah, see, it makes a big fat mess. So we'll let this dry completely, and then we will get a coat of epoxy on here, and then we will apply our vinyl stripes, and we'll go from there. I'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, this is our cup. Let me get you out there a little bit. So, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the color shift is really, really pretty. It kind of goes from green to purple to like a burgundy. It's really pretty. It matches the vinyl perfect almost. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take our striping tape and we're just going to go along the lines of this. And I'm using the striping tape from Foilz and Flakes. If you saw my unboxing video either a little while ago or yesterday, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But this is just striping tape that they sell all different colors, and you can get these cool little dispensers that they go in. It makes it really easy to get it put on your cup. So I am just going to start putting, and it, like I said, it makes it so easy to do this. I had some vinyl cut out for this, but when I got this in the mail today, I was like, this will be so much easier. And I did not grab my craft knife. Thank goodness it's in the drawer. So you're basically just going to go through, and you can cut out your vinyl stripes, and I'll actually put a little video at the end of this one, and I'll show you how, when I do cut out vinyl stripes, how I do it. And I use Cricut Design Space, so I can kind of show you how I do that. But I'm all about stuff that makes my life easier, and these little vinyl striping, this vinyl tape is like, I mean, it's not expensive. It's like $2.65, and you get 3 of them. You get a wider one, and then a smaller size, and then you get a real skinny, like, it's almost like a nail foil. But like I said, I'm all about anything to make my life easier. And we'll cut off that excess here in just a little bit. It's starting to stick together a little bit, so I've never used these before, guys, so be patient with me. I've never used these little dispensers, and then they're super handy, but okay, so there's our gold. If you can see it, let me set that back a little bit. There we go. So there's our gold stripes. And everything is sticking to my cup apparently from my... So now we are going to take our purple. And the purple is a thinner... The purple is almost like nail tape, so if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that or not, but so the purple is a lot thinner. So we're just going to put the purple over the gold, and I'm going to just fast forward you through this part because this part can be kind of tedious, especially when you can't see like me. So okay guys, this is what we've got. Let me get all the things that stuck to my cup. But this is what we've got. It turned out super, super pretty. It just needs one more coat of epoxy. And for me to wipe off whatever got on my mat, got on the cup. But other than that, and I just need to trim these little edges. But other than that, she is done. Like I said, one more coat of epoxy, we'll be good to go. And there was something on my mat. That'll just get some alcohol and get that off. It's just pieces of glitter and stuff because my cup is not completely hard, so it's still got a little bit of sticky to it. But okay guys, here is the last step for this cup. So we are ready to, we've got all of our vinyl on, it's all stuck really well. We're all done. We just need to get our last coat of epoxy on there. So I have my epoxy here. We are going to put in some Nikki's Secret Sauce. This is from Mr. Fancy Pants as well. This one is Love Like Lanham, which I love because my last name is Lanham. It's not made by me. It's not made for me. But I love it because it's my last name and it's actually spelled the same way and everything, which is kind of unusual. So we are just going to take a little bit. I'm talking a little bit because this is a little tumbler. So let me see if I can get this in frame. That much. We're just going to mix it into our epoxy. And this will just give it a little bit of a shimmer. So I picked a pink instead of a purple because we have got a lot of purple going on this cup. And there is also some pink in this cup. So I kind of wanted a little bit of contrast on there. So we will go ahead and get this last coat put on. And we will be good to go. And like I said, this is going to give it just a little sparkle. This is just an epoxy additive. And it, like I said, it'll give it some sparkle and some little wow wow. So it'll make it look really, really pretty. Alright guys. So I have got that on there. I will come back whenever this is dry and show you the final product. And I will see you then. Okay guys, this is what we ended up with. She is beautiful and will be on my website for sale in a couple of days. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye. Okay guys, I'm going to show y'all how I do the stripes for these cups. I've already made the stripes for this one, but I'm in Cricut Design Space, and I'm just going to go over here to Shapes, and I'm going to choose the square. Then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click the little unlock button so it unlocks this so I can move it all around, and I'm just going to make the stripe as thin as I need or as wide as I need. So there's one of my stripes. And so after this, I just duplicate this a few times, and that's just right clicking and putting it in there. And so like for this cup, for example, I know I'm gonna need 4. Whoops, I accidentally hit delete by accident. I do that all the time. And then what I do is I group these together because I print all of my stripes in one fell swoop. So I'm going to group these together. So then that's my first set of stripes, and then I'll print my second set of stripes. So after that's done, I will go over here and click Make It. And then I leave on my, I forgot to show you, but on the canvas I actually leave them the same color, so they'll print on the same mat. So what I do is I'll print the first set of stripes on, you know, the top, and then I'll move my next piece of vinyl, my other color, down to like, you know, the third inch or so, and then print it there. So let me see if I can get up close and show you. It's hard to do this on a camera, but you can actually move those around. And this is what my mat looks like. So I have my yellow up at the top, and then I have my darker down here, and I just started it, and I'm not going to be able to get it to focus, but I started it on the 3-inch mark. And then so I just go in and click, you know, click your little continue button and print those out. And that's how I do these stripes for this V-split that we're working on, and for any cup that I put stripes on. That's what I do. So I hope that helps.